Welcome to Power Conversations Podcast. This podcast features discussions of overcoming by faith and resilience with women who are breaking glass ceilings and excelling to higher heights despite their past circumstances. Brought to you by What's Your Superpower TV channel, we will interview several women from across the globe who have overcome adversity and pushed through to fulfill their purpose. Welcome everyone to Power Conversations Podcast. I am your host, Nadia Francois, and tonight we have an amazing book discussion with the co-authors of Boss Your Lane Anthology, which is all about business, something I love. So I am going to bring everyone in. We have a special male counterpart tonight, so it's going to be awesome. Hi, everyone. How are you? Welcome. So let's get started. How are you all doing tonight? We have our visionary, Miss Dawn Lieck. I am going to ask you, Miss Dawn, to go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience.
Hello, everyone. Nadia, so much for having us this evening. My name is Dawn Lieck, and I am a transformational life and business coach, a speaker, a best-selling author, as well as a visionary, which is, out of all of that, my favorite part, a visionary author. So I empower people to transform their lives and their businesses into greatness one step at a time, because that's about the only way we can do it, right? Instead of trying to get it all done at once, it's one step at a time. I'm very excited about this project. All things business, expert advice for the novice entrepreneur. So this is for the novice entrepreneur as well as the seasoned entrepreneur. There is just so many business nuggets in this book. These chapters are absolute fire. And I couldn't be more proud of the co-authors in this project, including yourself, Miss Nadia.
Yes, ma'am. I'm super excited myself, of course. I love all things business, all things women. So I'm super excited about it. So Miss Dawn, I'm gonna ask you just a couple of questions as the visionary really quick. Um, how did you come up with the concept? Like, what brought you to business? We've been having a lot of anthologies about telling our stories and hope and all those good things, encouragement. What brought you to business?
Well, I was talking to Shaderia Allison, and we were talking about business, and this was at the very beginning of the pandemic. And we were seeing so many people that were losing their jobs. They were getting laid off. Everybody was trying to just scratch and find a way to not totally go under. And so they started doing a lot of different things, a lot of, side hustles, starting their own businesses, just because they realized that they couldn't count on the 9 to 5s. Their livelihood was no longer a sure thing. So they had to take matters into their own hands. Second thing that we noticed was that a lot of those brand new entrepreneurs who were, trying to make a go of it, trying to start out, they were being taken advantage of by people that were selling them things and having them invest in all these big bells and whistles. And we thought about the book just because the new entrepreneur has to understand that they need to start where they're at, right? They need to invest where they're at, not 10 steps down the road. They need to invest where they're at. They need to have the basics. They need to have the business fundamentals. I often say, instead of starting off at point A, we see all these glamorous things and we start off at, point T, instead of point A, and we can't figure out why we're not successful, right? Because we forgot A, B, and C. And so that's really where the concept of the book came. We were like, wouldn't it have been great when we started out to have a book, a basic, guide to business, and have all different experts write their very best advice in this book. And so that's where it was birthed.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes. And it's really much needed. And I'm sorry, I'm looking down so I can share the broadcast. Just wanted to remind everyone, share, share, share. Um, but yeah, it's really much needed right now, like you said, with everyone shifting and trying to survive, through all of the ups and downs with the economy and the pandemic and just so much going on, and really just honing in on the fact that multiple streams of income are definitely necessary, right? So whether they were, pivoting or just getting started to enhance their income, it is very important that you know what to do, because sustainability is everything right now, right? So with that being said, let's get the other authors in here to introduce themselves. I just wanted to let you start out. And for the record, the book releases November 16th. So we are on a countdown. Woohoo! 6-day countdown for the release of this amazing book. We have a few of the authors here to represent tonight, including myself. So we are very excited. Next up, I'm going to ask Miss Chandra Nicole to unmute and introduce yourself, Queen.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chandra Nicole. I am a mom, mentor, and mediator. I am the CEO and founder of the Urban Mom Society. I also am the founder of Essential Medical Solutions, a medical lab company that I'm starting with my business partner. I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited to be in this particular anthology because, like you said, this is the first of its kind that I've saw, and I just had a lot of tidbits to share about my experiences and to let the new entrepreneur know, to save them some time and some energy and some money.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Queen.
You're welcome.
Next up, Miss Sheila Farr. Come on, unmute and tell us all about yourself, Queen.
Hey there. Thank you so much for having us tonight. So my name
You're
is Sheila
welcome.
Farr, and I'm the owner and
Oh, I think she froze up. Miss Sheila, can you hear us? All right, well, we will come back to Miss Sheila. Y'all know how this tech stuff gets. Mr. Jonathan, come on. We will allow you to come on up while we wait for Miss Sheila to get together. How are you tonight? Go ahead and
I'm
introduce
blessed.
yourself to our audience. Thank you for being here.
No problem. Hello, everyone, and to all the authors, and to my sister Dawn. How are you? My name is Jonathan Haynes. I'm a gospel award-winning recording artist. I am a serial entrepreneur, a #1 international best-selling author, podcast host, and the list goes on. But I'm just so excited about this book, Boscher Lane, because literally it's going to change lives and innovate things and all of the new entrepreneurs. And I'm ready to learn some key things myself. So I'm just so happy to be a part of this anthology. And next Tuesday, I am just waiting on that day. And thank you again for having me on your show tonight.
You are very, very welcome. Yes, I am ready too. I am ready too. And we will join Miss Sheila back in as soon as she gets her technical difficulties squared away. Miss Dawn, if you want to message her and let her know if she doesn't put the camera up on, sometimes that helps, and at least we can get her audio in. Okay. So Just let her know that. But we're going to keep on moving, keep on going to these wonderful questions I have for everyone, right? So, first question is, why did you decide to be a part of this anthology? And I will take the lead and go first on this one, just because I haven't really um, interjected my little opinions yet. But I decided to be a part of this anthology because, just as we all have stated, it was something that I had never heard of. Of course, we've all heard of anthologies and have participated in them as business owners and, those trying to get our stories out. But I never heard of a business-based one. And I was very, very, very intrigued by that. I was like stoked. I was like, how do I get in? I was in Miss Dawn's inbox, like, what is this about? Is it too late? She's like, no, come on. So I went on and got on in. And I've been actually really excited about it because I think that it's all, not only is it something that's really needed for the novice entrepreneur, but it's a step up for us seasoned entrepreneurs, right? So we get to pour into those that are coming up behind us, which is always great. So that is why I chose to be a part. And Miss Chandra, you can go ahead and unmute and let us know your side.
Again, piggybacking off of what you said, I joined the project because it was new. It was something I never heard of before. This is my fourth book. The previous books were, basically my story about my life and, trials, but this one was centered around my businesses. And I just think that it was the perfect time, the perfect opportunity to teach someone new, like I said, to save the time, the energy, the money, because I became real frustrated. As a business owner, we can get frustrated. We quit, we may give up, so I just think it's just real important to give them the real and the raw of business, because you can come on social media and see the glitz and the glam, and the behind the scenes is totally different. So that's why I joined the project. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And Mr. Jonathan?
Yes, I can agree with all the statements as well. When I seen it, I was like, okay, I have to be a part. I know I was in her inbox almost every week saying, I'm joining, I'm joining, I'm joining. But I knew it was something that I need to be a part of because a lot of people have asked me, how did I start my businesses during the pandemic? And so I wanted to give other people and young people advice. I'm only 25, so I want to give them advice in this book to know no matter the age, no matter the stumbling blocks that come your way, you have the keys and the steps to do it. So my chapter is simply just trying to educate, uplift, and empower you to keep on going. And so that's the reason why I joined, because I want other people to see that no matter what you go through, you still can be that boss and you can still be that entrepreneur. So I joined the minute I seen it.
Yes, yes. And we have our beautiful Miss Sheila back. Hey, Miss Sheila, you can unmute. Go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience, and then I'll pop the question on you.
Sounds good. And I apologize for that. We had a wreck outside my workplace here and lost our power. So, but I'm back on the
Oh,
phone.
no. Sorry about
I
that.
know. I know. It looks like everybody's okay. But yeah, I'm Sheila Farr. I'm the owner and operator at Gulf Coast Trading and Education Services. And what we do is just provide business and marketing strategies for small business and owners and entrepreneurs, which really just kind of help people turn their stumbling blocks into stepping stones and try and help people be very successful entrepreneurs and do a little bit of professional development training. I'm also an author and I love writing. And yeah, that's me and what I do. And I was so excited to be part of this project because I love Dawn and everything she does. So when the ask came, I was definitely on board for sure.
Awesome, awesome, good. So the question was, well, you pretty much answered the question, but I know you probably have a little more to tell us about why you decided to join this business anthology.
Absolutely. Honestly, I've worked with a lot of the folks that are in the book. So, especially, gosh, I could name some names. Honestly, Eric Willoughby is one of my favorite folks to collaborate with. I absolutely adore him. He and I have done some really neat training projects here on the coast. But just knowing all the people that were involved in the project and knowing that these were people who were exceptional business leaders, not just people who had businesses and were doing their thing, but these are people who are actually a level of above where most people are, and they are really folks that could sow into other people. So yeah, I was just honored and thrilled, and just blessed to be part of it.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes, this is definitely a blessing. And so we'll go back around to the authors again. And Miss Dawn, you can answer this question as well. What is your favorite sector of business? And we'll start with the guy first. We'll give him the floor first. Go ahead, Mr. Jonathan.
Yes, my favorite sector is just simply interacting with the people, you know. I sing all the time, so I'm interacting with people all the time. So as business, I love to give people advice or to motivate them in general. And so a part of my business is simply that if I can make somebody smile, uplift them, or do something to know that they won't go the same way, that's all, my whole obligation and my whole mission in life. And so that's what I simply try to do just to keep a smile on everybody's face that I come in contact with.
Awesome. Awesome. Miss Sheila.
Strategy, hands down. I love helping people kind of look at the pieces that they have and develop them into something that's going to work for them, because business is not cookie cutter, and if folks try to approach it that way, they'll find out really quickly that's a surefire way to fail. So
Absolutely.
helping people find what fits them and their business, and helping them find the best way and really some innovative ways that they can serve other people. That is my extremely favorite part.
Yes, yes. And Miss Dawn.
Well, anybody that knows me, will tell you that I'm kind of bossy and I'm kind of pushy. So, my favorite sector of business is enlightening people that are in business or wanting to go in business about how to be profitable, how to monetize your business, how to not give everything away, but still give.
Yeah,
But I mean, let's face it, we're in business because, a few different reasons. An entrepreneur wants their freedom, they want to be their own boss, right? And they want to make their own schedule, which we don't because we work nonstop, sun up to sundown. A 9 to 5 is less work. Um,
yeah,
and we want to be financially stable, right?
yeah. Right.
So a lot of things, I can see things before the business owner sees it themselves on how they can monetize what they're doing and be profitable, and how they can have increase in what they're already doing. So for me, that's the biggest thing that I love is just watching people and watching the light bulb go off. Like, wow, I didn't think about that. I didn't
Yeah,
think of monetizing that piece of it. Or most times people think that they are not equipped to charge what they are actually worth and what
yeah,
their services are worth. They have a hard time understanding their worth and placing a realistic price tag on what they do, or the services they offer or the product they sell, because they're always assuming what people can afford.
hmm,
That's one of the biggest things. Don't ever assume what someone can afford. We're not in their pocketbook. We don't know, but we know what our value is. We know what our
right.
worth is. We know what we're offering. And so, we just need to charge accordingly so that we can be financially stable. So that's my favorite.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Monetizing, my favorite too. So, Miss Chandra, what is your favorite sector in business?
I would say encouraging an entrepreneur to push through. There's power in perseverance. There are going to be challenges, there are going to be setbacks, but you just got to get up, and tomorrow's going to be a new day. It's probably going to be another set of challenges, but that's just a part of the growth process. And I just love encouraging people to just push through in spite of the challenges, in spite of, not feeling like it today, because there are going to be days you don't feel like it. But this is your baby, and it is worthy of your energy and your time. So that's my favorite part of it. It's just encouraging people to keep going.
Awesome. Yes. Awesome. And so I will give my favorite part, which is, of course, that since I am an older entrepreneur in a newer entrepreneur world, it is definitely tech and digital. That is what I am. It has topped the rank because, like I said, being an older entrepreneur, even though I don't look it, thank you. Um, being an older entrepreneur in the younger entrepreneur world, we have to learn a lot of things over, right? There's some processes and some um things that have been streamlined for us, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining. But at the same time, we have to hone in and continue to be a learner, right? And so that is one of the things that drive me. I love research. I love to learn. I love to, just always be on top of my field, whatever it is I'm doing. I'm trying to make sure that I am doing it as efficient as possible so that, as with the book, those that come behind us can have a model, and know that things can be done in excellence and things can still come out right. And you don't have to first per se invest so much in the beginning time stages, where you will definitely need that money later on in your business. And so with that being said, um guys, I want to ask you to give just one, and it does not have to be related to what you have in the book, but it can be, it's up to you. But one piece of advice for our novice entrepreneurs, and I will start with Miss Sheila.
Ooh, I'm so glad you started with me. I love this question. I would say take the time to understand who you are as a business person and who you serve. Uh, you're not for everybody, so don't try to be all things to all people. So that would be the advice that I give.
Love it, love it. Miss Chandra.
The one piece of advice that I would give the novice entrepreneur is to legalize your business from the beginning. Don't wait. You don't want to get yourself in any trouble. Just legalize your business. Take the time to invest and legalize your business from the beginning. You will be surprised. And I'm guilty of this, of how many people, start businesses and no insurance, not legalized, and you can get in a lot of trouble like that. So that would be my one piece of advice.
Yes, very good. Mr. Jonathan.
It's simple. You may get 1,000 no's, but that one yes will change your life forever. So no matter what comes your way, you keep pressing and keep going, and you keep doing what you're supposed to do because you know you're here for a reason. So you may get 1,000 no's, but that one yes will change your life forever. So keep pushing.
Yes, yes, yes. And Miss Dawn.
I would have to say start where you're at. Start where you're at and don't compare. Comparison, we know comparison is the thief of joy, right? So don't compare your day one in business to someone else's day 365 in business, because they've already went through those bumps and rocks and boulders and tears and sweat and they're at a different level now. So start where you're at and invest where you're at. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself, but make sure that what you're investing in, you do your research, you do your homework, you research. If it's a person, you research that person. If it's a product, research that product. See if it's exactly the right investment for you at that exact time. I often say it's like a website. That's one of the first things that everybody thinks that they need to have is this big fancy website. Well, it depends on what your business is. If you're not having a store, you're not selling anything, a landing page will suffice just as well at a fraction of the cost. And so don't feed into all of these glamorous, shiny things that you see other people have. I mean, I've been in business that I'm going into my 4th year, and I just now got a website because I have all these books to put on it, right, to sell. But prior to that, I just had a landing page for my coaching packages. It worked just as well. It was really a sliver of the cost of a fancy web page, a website. So just see exactly what you need before you start investing.
That was good. Yes. All of these were wonderful pieces of advice. And I'm going to add, don't despise small beginnings. Like, don't be afraid to work your way up. Actually, that is really the only way to get up is to work your way up. But meaning also, just as Miss Dawn said, if you can't afford certain things at a certain time in your business, do not risk that money for something. If you're not going to see the return right away, then don't risk your money on it, right? And so you have to make good business decisions when you're growing your business, when you're starting, even before you start your business, like Miss Chandra said. Make sure that you are actually a business. Make sure that you're legitimate. Make sure you get your legal together, because in the end, that is what saves us business owners. Like, what we went through with the pandemic, and then they offered PPP loans, and people have been in business for over 10 and 15, 20 years and couldn't get a dime because of what? $150 paper that you didn't go complete when you started your business that actually makes you legit. That's not worth it. And here you have a book coming out full of information to get you going. We are here for it. We are here for it. These people, and I'm going to retract people and say these authors that contributed to this book have went through the fire already. So we are coming to tell you all of the things that you can do to make sure that you build a good, sustainable business that will produce legacy. We're not working on no fly-by-night stuff. We don't do microwave business, right? We building this thing. We're nurturing it, cultivating it. And so that is what Boscher Lane and its contributors are bringing November 16th. And so I want to just stop and ask Miss Dawn one thing, because you are the only one that has read all of our chapters. And so I'm not going to ask you to give us too much info, but I do need to know, and I know the other co-authors want to know as well. How well does this book flow? I just know as well, but just tell us from your mouth.
It flows, and I just got the final copy today to read through, and I really can't wait to just sit down and do that. But I've read each chapter one by one, and just the vast array of knowledge and nuggets that are in this book is just unbelievable. I mean, it's things that you're just you wouldn't think about, and there's tons of motivation, there's tons of encouragement, there's like actual step by step. This is how you do this, and step by step, this is how you do this. Just to save people time and money and aggravation of trying to figure something out, right? And so I mean, flows like butter. Flows.
Yes, yes, yes. I can only imagine because, like I said, we have this group chat, and the people that are in this chat, y'all, is just amazing. So I know the book is going to be phenomenal. It's going to change some lives. It's going to change some businesses' trajectories, some business income and revenue. And so, y'all, I'm super excited. I had to ask you that, Miss Dawn, because you are the only one that's seen everyone's chapter.
And I mean, just like a tidbit, we have everything from, step by step, starting your own nonprofit to how to invest in Bitcoin. I mean, we've got it all.
Ooh, yes, I can't wait. I can't wait. I cannot wait. So, yes, guys, we have poured our business hearts into our chapters for this book. So, make sure that you mark your calendars for November 16th, Tuesday, next Tuesday, 6 days away. We are launching Boss Your Lane Anthology. What is it? An expert. Tell me, Miss Dawn, I'm gonna mess it up.
Expert advice for the novice entrepreneur.
Yes, expert advice for the novice entrepreneur. And as you have heard tonight, there's so much information there, from crypto to encouragement to just building from ground up. Look, skipping all of the things that we have gone through to bump our heads to make us not want to keep going, to everything, So make sure you put this in your to-do list to grab this book. We are doing a bestseller campaign, right, Miss Dawn?
Yes.
Is it on the same day as the
Yep.
launch?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yes, indeed. And then also, I just wanted to share with everyone that we also have the Boscher Lane Virtual Summit that is coming February 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And a lot of the authors from this book are going to have, recorded presentations for you on different business things, plus a pretty big array of other bosses. So that's going to be something amazing as well. We have a great keynote that has agreed to come on, and I'm excited, y'all. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one.
Yes, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Being the change that we want to see, y'all. That's what we're doing with this in the business world. And so let's get back to, we have a couple of more questions we'll answer before we end. And so I want to just have a little fun with the authors. Who is your favorite entrepreneur and why? And I will start with Miss Chandra.
I want to say, I can't think of his name right now, and it's crazy because I got, I think 2 of his books. The FUBU guy,
Damon John.
Damon John. He's my favorite entrepreneur. For several reasons. He started FUBU, out of his van and his clothing line, and he was on Shark Tank, and I just like the hustle part of it, and just seeing him build his business from nothing to something. So I like that aspect, and that's why he's my favorite entrepreneur.
All right, Miss Sheila.
I think my favorite, man, he's also one of my favorite authors, is Simon Sinek. He was somebody who started his consulting business just by noticing inefficiencies in other people's business and in the businesses with whom he worked. So I think, to me, I just love his mind and the way that he thinks. He's so innovative, and he's so encouraging. He just really inspires people to dig down and find what drives them. And it might not be what you've done for for 15 years. It might be something that has been calling your name. The Lord equips each of us with gifts. So he just really encourages people to dig down and find out what that gift is. And then, man, just pursue it with everything you have. So I love his passion. I love his innovation. And I love that he just kind of steps, marches to the beat of his own drum. He inspires me, and I love him.
Awesome. Awesome. Miss Dawn?
Now this is a hard one. This is really a hard one. So entrepreneur wise, I am going to say, Shay Brown. And so Shay Brown is, not a bazillionaire or anything like that, but he's on his way to it. I'm going to tell you that right now. And
Okay.
the reason why I say Shay Brown is because he is so innovative. He is not afraid to change on a dime. And you can talk to him about an idea. He asks opinions. He's just amazing. I mean, I have been working with him for probably 2 years, and I think I have seen him do 5 different business ventures starting with the Comeback Champion Summit that he's got that's hugely successful. That summit started out with a conversation between the two of us. What do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? And then like a few days later, there it is. He just does it. He just does
Yeah.
it. So I very much admire him. And, he's been through, bankruptcy. He's been through repossessions. He's been through it all, divorce. He's been through everything where, and he hates to sell. And so for being where he is and looking at selling from a different viewpoint has just taken him to amazing levels. And so, if you ask him how he is now, he just says, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. And he is, but it's all about him. He is such a go-getter. So I gotta say Shay Brown.
Awesome. Awesome. Mr. Jonathan?
I say this all the time. Everybody knows who she is. But if it wasn't for Kern Cherry, I wouldn't have none of the businesses that I have. I wouldn't be an author. She pushed me to another level that I'm truly grateful for, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I am today. I was singing, but these other businesses and speaking and life coaching was all because of her pushing me to greatness. And every time I get to her, talk about it, I get emotional because I'm just thankful that she does all these things, but she looks out for everybody. She's not one of those people who brings everything in and don't want to help anybody else win. She let everybody else win, and that's why I believe she is so blessed. So Kern Cherry is the one. I've known her for 10 years, but I got to know her really in the past year with the book. So that's who I look up to as an entrepreneur and a boss.
Awesome. 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 And I am going to put mine out there. I have a couple, but one that just I think is probably going to be my all-time favorite because he's a Louisiana guy, and that is Percy Miller, or better known as Master P. And that's because first off, his music was popular during the time that I was growing up, right? And so I started my entrepreneurship journey in my teens. And so a lot of his music was my motivation. I hate to say it, but I'm serious. You know how we have our mode. We get in our hustle mode, we get in our grind mode. And so that was his music fueled a lot of my grinding. And so, but then once he made the transition to the businessman, Percy Miller, it was really something that helped like a little black girl from Louisiana look up and be like, dang, he made it. Like, I didn't even care about, because they were like reach out and touchable here in Baton Rouge during that time. It wasn't like he made it as a rapper. It was when he actually made it as an entrepreneur and being able to share knowledge and, be a philanthropist in his community. Those types of things are what really drew me to researching him more and, you know, just really finding out his background in business and the changes that he is trying to make in his industry, that he has hopped into the food industry. And so that it's really good to see, you know, that he's trying to build a legacy in different areas where we don't really exist. And so, when we being minorities. And so, Percy Miller, y'all, that is my favorite entrepreneur. Um, so back to our next question, and this is going to be probably our final question before we do our business intros. And so I wanted to know, we are all business owners here, and of course when we invest in projects such as these, of course we are also looking at ways to improve our business, right, or develop or build on our business. So my question is to each of you, what are you hoping to achieve by being a part of this project in your business? And so I'll start with Mr. Jonathan.
What I'm hoping, if I can just bless one person to become a successful entrepreneur, that is my goal, that somebody can just see what I have given them and just to become a rising boss. Because, you know, I always talk about God because, you know, I love God. So I'm going to
Yes,
say it every time I go somewhere, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today. So I want
absolutely.
some people to know in this chapter and in this amazing book of authors, I want people to understand that they can do anything they put their minds to.
Yes, absolutely. Miss Sheila.
Honestly, I think because I mean, I run a training agency in business strategy company. So really, what I would love to do with this book is have some of the co-authors come and teach their chapter in my business. So you know, we can really sow into the community here on the coast. That's what I do. I like just being a spark plug for businesses
Yes.
and a connector. So I think, you know, having the opportunity to have some people come in and share their gifts would be a really neat thing to see.
Yes, absolutely. That's wonderful. And Miss Chandra.
Um, was trying to think here, but I would say just my hope is to just save the new entrepreneur time, because I've been at this thing for a long time and it's been frustrating and it's challenging, and you get tired and you stop and you start again. And I just would like to save that new entrepreneur some time
Awesome.
and some money. I keep coming back to that.
Yes. And well, you know, that's the two things that we like exhaust the quickest, right? You
Mhm.
know, in our energy level, we just run it in the ground sometimes. But yeah, I certainly agree with you. And Miss Dawn.
Oh gosh. What my hopes are is just like Jonathan said, if one entrepreneur, new entrepreneur or seasoned entrepreneur can just get something from this fabulous book that they didn't have prior, you know, just something that they can take away, they can implement, they can run with it. And I just want this to be the guide that sits on people's desk. And the second thing, my second hope is that I really um so appreciate all of the co-authors. I want the co-authors to, you know, get return on this. I am huge, and like I said, I am like, you know, the businesswoman about everything. The return on investment, you know, on their investment. They've invested time and money in this project. So I am very hopeful for them to get a return, for them to get new clients, for someone to call them up or send them an email and say, hey, I read your chapter and here's what I need help with, and just take it from there. So that's, you know, my biggest hope for the reader and the authors to benefit, you know, the readers get their return on investment from just sitting down and reading the book.
Awesome. Yes, yes. I love it. I love it. And so I'll just add my um hope. I think I'm asking y'all these questions, but I didn't really think about um what I hope to achieve. Of course, I wanted it to be a part of my brand, of course, those things, and a tool for even some of my clients, because most of us coach other people on different areas in business. So I was hoping for it to be a tool in that area. But also, like some of you have already stated, just something to save the novice, right? Like really the mission of the book, something to help the novice entrepreneur, because I came up in these entrepreneurial streets back in the 1990 somethings, right? And so there was no Google, there was no YouTube, there was really no internet. We was like barely dialing up on AOL, if you are that old. And so, we didn't have anything like this. And if we did, I didn't know anything about it. You had to like literally research in encyclopedias back, and that type of stuff to learn something, or pay somebody, one of your kids in a left arm, to get half of the information that you needed, right? Because they'll just string you along and try to keep on milking you before they get to the final point. And so I just hope that this book will be that guide and that tool for the novice that we intended to be, like that all of our intentions are made whole, and that God gets the glory in it as well, because we haven't really made this about religion or spirituality, but at the same time, we all love God and we know where our bread and butter comes from, right? So we're gonna acknowledge him. And so I think that, well, I know that Ms. Dawn is a strong believer, and I know that
Yeah,
when
he is at the helm
yeah,
of anything, that I'm given to do, and
yeah,
so it's all in his direction. So
absolutely. So
he's
with him involved, it can't
he's
do anything but
right,
meet the expectations.
right,
Yes, yes, yes.
exactly.
So go ahead. If you have anything else to say, I want to allow each of you to, of course, introduce your businesses, because Ms. Sheila did a brief intro, but I would like each of you to introduce your businesses, tell your services and what you offer, and then let our viewers know how they can contact you and reach out. And if you have any final thoughts, a last, motivational quote or inspiration, go ahead and blast that out there and let us know what you have to offer. And we'll start with Miss Chandra.
Okay, I have two businesses. I have a business called Urban Mom Society where I provide mentoring, mediation services for moms of teen girls. I also provide a support group once a month, sip and chat. I also have a business that I'm partnering with a nurse buddy of mine. I'm a nurse, and we're starting a medical lab called Essential Medical Solutions, where we'll provide lab testing, DNA testing, TB testing, any pre-employment testing. You can find us on Facebook, both Urban Mom Society and Essential Medical Solutions on Facebook and Instagram. And my favorite quote that I made up for myself is come through for you and push through until you do.
Yes, I like that. I like that. Miss Sheila.
Yeah, so let's see. Here at Gulf Coast Training, we do a lot of things. We do everything from business type courses to professional development training to health and wellness training. So we kind of do a lot of things. But one of the really cool things that I love is we just started a couple of months ago a digital magazine called Best in Business, and I have a little webcast every Monday by the same name. And we also offer free training and right now it's virtual. So every month we have 1 or 2 free training classes that we just offer to the community or anybody who's interested in that. And it's all about different aspects of business. So I would honestly invite or encourage anybody who's interested in looking at what we've got. For November, we're doing SMART goals, just trying to help folks get ready for the new year. And then in December, we're talking about how to stay consistent in the new year with everything that you're doing in business. And you can find out about us at our website, which is www.gulfcoasttraining.org. And it's all there. I have a bazillion favorite quotes, but what I would really encourage everybody to do, especially in business, is just bathe everything in prayer. Before you do anything, all of the tips that we give everybody are great. But honestly, before you do anything, you ought to just put it before the Lord and just pray for direction and discernment and just bathe every step in prayer. And that's the encouragement or the advice that I would give to everybody. And Nadia, I still have my AOL account. I still use my AOL email. So just saying.
Okay, so you know the struggle, Miss Sheila.
Oh, yes. I'm right there with you.
Yes, awesome, awesome. All right, Mr. Jonathan.
Yes, again, my name is Jonathan Haynes. I'm a gospel recording artist, so I minister all around the world. I am a serial entrepreneur with Jonathan Haynes Ministries, JH Consulting, where I give young entrepreneurs advice on how to become successful. Then I have Songbird Productions, which is a production company with music, giving up and coming artists a chance to make it. And then I have a clothing line called Songbird Apparel. And I have a podcast. I have so much going on. So you can get all that information because I can be on here all day. But we can go to my website at jonathanlhaynes.com, or you can email me at sbirdproductions56@gmail.com, or phone number 228-314-0722. And my quote is, do it afraid.
Yes, I love it. I love that. Yes. And Miss Dawn, I'm gonna go ahead of you so that you can give, the wrap up, the wonderful wrap up. I'm Nadia Francois. I am, of course, an international best-selling author, the CEO of the What's Your Superpower brand. I'm also a beautypreneur, something that I don't speak of a lot on these platforms because I'm a person, I like to keep everything separate. I don't know if that's good or bad, but for me, it has been good because, when I need to interject it, I do. But I'm a beautypreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years. And I started started visionarying. I don't know if that's a word or not. Being a visionary for book projects back in 2017. And of course, that was how the What's Your Superpower brand was brought about. And over the pandemic, the What's Your Superpower brand grew with the podcast, the TV series, and the magazine. And so through these platforms, we bring visibility to entrepreneurs, coaches, authors, community leaders, anyone that is doing great things in their community or in business. We are spotlighting them and helping them be visible with credible sources. Okay, so that is what I do. And I can be reached at www.nadiafrancois.com if you want to reach out via my beauty business, where I have an online beauty supply store. I also am an educator in the business industry, in the beauty industry for business, and I have a hair care line. So if you have to reach me for that, you can also go to nadiafrancois.com or arisbeautylounge.com. And so it is a pleasure to have all of you here on Power Conversations podcast tonight for our book discussion. And I'm going to allow Ms. Dawn to go ahead and give her business information and then close us out with whatever you want to tell us, give us any updates that we may have missed about the upcoming launch and all of that.
Okay, well, I'm just kind of speechless here. Even though I'm the visionary of this book, y'all just blow me away. I mean, anybody listening right now, it's like everybody's got like 28 things, and I'm just like, hey, I'm Dawn. You know, I mean, come on, Jonathan's done more in his, first 25 than I've done in my 56. I don't know. I'm gonna have to catch up. But anyways, my business is Finally Free LLC, and I also have Dawn Lieck Enterprise. And I have spent about 25 years in senior retail management. So I'm all about the business. That's the thing, when you're in a position where you've got to worry about every penny and how to make it, and what you're spending, it grows on you. It just sticks with you. So that's why I assess everything. I assess the waitress and her tips at the restaurant. It's just it just is. But it definitely isn't all about money, right? It's not all about money. And I have just kind of changed things over. I've coached people. I don't ever coach on anything that I have not gone through or that I don't do. So if you call me about, something that I know nothing about, I am not going to take your money. I am going to very politely refer you to one of my coach friends that specializes in the area that you need. Um, so I've always coached, life coaching and mixed in with business coaching, because for most people, seems nowadays the two go hand in hand, right? Um, but just recently here, I have started coaching for anthology projects. And so that is something, and that's why I say it's not all about the money. And I don't want anyone to think that. But yes, I want y'all to make money. That is the bottom line. I want you to make money because that's why you're in business. But the heart of it is, and my heart is working on these anthologies and meeting all of these phenomenal people, whether it's this business anthology or Finally Free anthology that I did was about people walking through fear. And Drop the Mask, Share the Crown was very different, a very different type of anthology that had all different types of things in there. It had racism, it had just segregation, it had a lot of different points in there, and a little bit controversial, but it's all in what God brings to me. And if he gives me the direction, he gives me the ideas, this is what you need to do, and if it keeps coming back to me, then I know it's what I'm supposed to be doing. So just working with people, working with authors, as a visionary author is probably, out of anything that I have ever done, it is my most favorite thing. Getting to know the heart of these authors, and watching them grow, because so many times you get someone that's a first time author. And then I look at some of the ladies that were in my first anthology a year ago. It'll be a year in January, and they have like their own businesses now, their own shows. They have TV shows, podcasts, and I'm like, oh my gosh. One of them, I used the example when she signed up for the first book project. She got on her very first Zoom call ever to talk about the project for the first time. She had never signed on to Zoom. And now she has her own video, like a video podcast show. And she could barely even speak. She didn't know how to use Zoom, and she certainly was not a speaker at all. And now she's just killing it. And so this is what just gives me so much joy, is just seeing the growth and seeing people be successful and prosper. So it's not all about the money. It's about personal growth as well. So I don't want anybody to get the idea that because my graphics are all the money and everything. But you know what, being a boss, that's what it's about. It's about money.
Absolutely.
And I have someone like Shadaria Allison saying, Dawn, you have to appeal to millennials, and they like money. Now, okay, all right, well, here we go. She's like, they're the ones. She's like, we're the ones that are coming up as entrepreneurs. And so you got to just get out of the box. So that's what I did. But that's my love, is working with people and helping them to become prosperous.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I'll give you, so the easiest place to reach me is Facebook Messenger. I'll just say it. My phone is an extension of my arm. So if you want an immediate response, Facebook Messenger is it under Dawn Lieck, or you can email me at dawn@dawnleakenterprise.com. And my favorite quote is, "She thought she could, so she did."
Yes. Love it. Love it. Love it. And tell us what we have to look forward to for our lunch coming up next week.
Ooh, I'm gonna my authors, my authors don't really even know about this, and kind of, they know they signed up for shows, but they don't really know that it's like a whole week long launch. So we have a live show Monday through Friday. And so Boscher Lane is going to be out there. We're going to be sharing it out, and it's going to have all of the authors. Each day we're going to have, 4 or 5 authors. And so we're going to get to hear their hearts. We're going to get to hear some nuggets. Of course, the bestseller launch is on Tuesday, the 16th. And for sure, y'all know we are going to be just blowing it out there. Everyone's going to know that this book is launching.
Yes.
And so, yeah, and it's going to continue on. There's other shows to come. And then, of course, we have the Boscher Lane Virtual Summit in February.
Awesome.
We're going to keep it going.
Yes, yes. Wonderful, Queen. Well, I want to thank you so much for being obedient in moving forward in this project and listening to your millennial consultant. Because we do need those in these days, because, we've been at this in our way a long time, but we have to definitely transition and add some new stuff. So
Yeah,
great, great job.
we just don't see things the same.
Yeah.
It truly is a different generation. It's a different world. And so, you can't always be in your comfort zone, because, I'd have butterflies all day long. I love butterflies, and she's like, "On, come on
No
now."
butterflies.
She's like, "That's a different book. This is about being a boss." I'm like, "Okay." So I just gave it to her. I
Yeah,
trust her with everything I do. So I just gave it to her, and I was like, "You just do what you want to do." And I'm just gonna tell y'all, she just knocked it out of the ballpark, and
absolutely.
everybody's got a new graphic coming between tonight and tomorrow as well. So
Woo, woo. Y'all get ready. We about to flood the internet with Boscher Lane. We are ready. We are ready, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming on tonight. This has been a pleasure to host you guys on the book discussion. Anyone else have any final thoughts or words they need to get out before we end? All right. Well, thank y'all once again for joining us for Power Conversations podcast. This was a book discussion with the co-authors from Boscher Lane Anthology. Coming up this Tuesday. This Tuesday, we are launching. We are going to be international bestsellers again. So we are claiming it, and we need your help. So make sure you look out. Make sure you share. Make sure you purchase our ebook and our paperbacks. So, guys, thank you again. Once again, Power Conversations podcast broadcast every Thursday on all major listening platforms at 8 a.m. So make sure you tune in. www. I'm trying to get too many W's. www.wisptv.com. Thank y'all, and see you next time. Bye-bye.